Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning. Okay, Selamat Hari Raya. So for today we will discuss about test 1, okay, or test. So for the first question, the following procedure needs to be followed to diagnose the staff has been exposed to confirm COVID-19 cases. So basically the question asks you to draw a flowchart or a pseudocode. So some of you are done both. So you have to read the question carefully. Okay, you can see here or. Okay, this is or. So you can choose either flowchart or pseudocode. Okay, if you do both, I will mark both, but I will choose the highest mark. Okay, so let's start with the pseudocode. Oh, sorry, the flowchart. So of course, when it comes to flowchart, okay, so when it comes to flowchart, you have to start first. Okay, START. Then exposed staff is a person under examination should be checked in the presence of. So look here. Okay, and then so this is a process. So staff exposed should be checked. Okay, you have to check. Okay, so then if there is no sign symptom, staff can continue work as usual until symptom present. So means that go here. So symptom present. PRESENT. Okay, symptom present. If no, okay, work as usual. Okay, continue to work as usual. Okay, so if yes, okay, if yes, okay, so if this one is no, if one is yes, okay, okay. So this one, once the symptom detected, staff required to perform swab test. So what it means that, okay, let me zoom this. Okay, so symptom. Okay, you have two symptoms present. So if work as usual, then if no, go back here. Okay, so if yes, go to swab test. So yes, here. Okay, make sure you go at the arrow, not this one. Okay, in one box there can only one input and one output. Okay, so this is first input and should be one output. Okay, except for the decision. Okay, this one is decision. Okay, for decision you have one input. Okay, one input, two output. Okay, and make sure you don't forget the arrow. Okay, and of course you cannot forget the decision. So no and yes. Okay, so next. So if positive, okay, if positive, go hospital. Okay, hospitalize. If negative, home quarantine. Okay, so you have another decision here. Okay, result swab test. Okay, result can either result positive, yes, or no. Okay, in flowchart try to use yes or no, or true or false. Okay, avoid using positive, negative. So you can choose one. Okay, result positive, yes or no. Okay, if you write result positive, negative, I also consider correct. Okay, but it should be yes or no. Okay, so if result is positive, hospitalized. Okay, sorry about this. My drawing pad is not very good. So if this one quarantine. Okay, and then don't forget to end. Okay, make sure, okay, for the process, okay, for the process you have one input, one output. Okay, for this case you have two input, right? Two input. Okay, make sure that it goes to the arrow, not the here. Okay, so be careful. For process you need to have one input, one output. For decision, this one is decision, make sure you have one input, two output. Okay, don't forget the arrow. Okay, this one also don't forget the arrow. Okay, how about pseudocode? So for pseudocode, of course, you have, usually this is an option, procedure. Okay, this is just something like a title. Okay, okay, procedure, that now stuff. Okay, and then you have input. Okay, and you have output. Okay, and then you have begin and end. So for the input, okay, is the stuff expose. Okay, and the output is the either quarantine to or okay hospitalized. Okay, so you have to, usually for pseudocode you have to define the input and output, and of course you can write the procedure. This is just like a title. And don't forget begin. So of course expose under check for presence of symptom. So check SYMTOM. Okay, while there's no sign of symptom, continue to work. So while no, okay, this one is not important, either you can use one only or two, equals is still correct, because this is just a pseudocode. Okay, they are basically the programming without the grammar. Okay, so while no symptom, okay, continue work. Okay, okay, inside here you also need to check SYMTOM. Okay, check symptom. Okay, if yes, and if no, if yes, okay, if yes, symptom yes, okay, equals to yes. Okay, so basically it's continue checking the symptom until, okay, symptom come out and symptom equals to yes, and while will be ended. Okay, and then go to the next procedure. Okay, and then the next process is swab test. Okay, do swab test. This is just a process, so square if you use flowchart. Okay, after swab test, if result, okay, positive, okay, hospitalized. Okay, else quarantine. So end. Okay. course, don't forget for this part to end also. Okay, that is how you do pseudocode. So we continue with 2b. Okay, sorry, 1b. Okay, so this one is just a array. Okay, sorry, my drawing pad is not working properly today. So A is given. So let me draw this. A is 1, 2, -3, 4, -5, 6, -1, -2, -3. Okay, so B is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is A and B. So you have to compute C, D, and E. So for C, okay, you can see here C equals to, okay, you can see at the first row, okay, you see here this is semicolon, semicolon. Semicolons means that in the next row. Okay, so you have to see here there are 3 parts. Okay, so you can see, so for C is A row 2. Okay, you look at A. Okay, if you look here, you look at row 2, and double dot means that it is you take all. So this one. Okay, that is mean by A to double dot. Okay, so basically you just copy back 4, -5, and then 6, and then 3 to 5. So this one is just 3 to 5. 3, 4, 5, and then lastly you take B from 5 to 7. So you can see here, you look at B, okay, and this is B. Okay, you have to take 5 to 7. So remember, you have to something like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the numbering, the indexing is something goes down, and then the next row goes down, and then goes down. So take value from 5 to 7. So 5, this one, 6, 7. Okay, so you have to take all that value. Okay, let me delete this first. So 5, 8, 3. So you get C. So next is the A. Okay, so A, this is A. Okay, next is A bar. So A apostrophe or bar, this one is basically transpose. So this one, okay, you minus this. So A bar is, you just flip diagonally. Okay, so 1, 2, -3, okay, 4, -5, negative 4, -5, 6, okay, and then -1, okay, -2, -3. Okay, so this is A bar. Okay, okay, so then A minus A bar. So basically this A minus this A. So A minus A bar is just, so 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 minus 4 is -2, -3 minus 1, okay, -3 minus minus 1, so plus 1, so -2, okay, and then 4 minus 2 is 2, -5 minus 5 minus minus 5 is 0, and 6 minus 2 minus 2 is 8. Okay, so -1 minus minus 3 is -1 plus 3 is 2, -2, -6, -8, and lastly -3 -3. Okay, so you get 0. So you get the answer. And then lastly, logical. So basically anything that 0 is 0, okay, all 0 will be 0, and other number negative or positive will be 1. So basically logic, okay, or just D is equals to, okay, any 0 will become 0, okay, and anything else will become 1. 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, so that is how you solve D. Okay, so you have C, you have D. Okay, so C to the power of D. Okay, so you can see here there is dot. Okay, you can look at here, there is dot. Okay, what it means by dot, it is an, okay, E equals to C dot. Okay, this dot means that the, okay, the, oh, wait, array operation. Okay, and then, oh, sorry, okay, and D, so to the power of D. Okay, so E is equals to, so 4 to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, okay, so basically anything to the power of 0, okay, is 1. So 1 1 1. So anything else, okay, so you just copy back. Okay, anything to the power of 1 is just the original number. So -5 6 3 5 5 8. Okay, that's it. Okay, that is E. Okay, that is how you answer question 1B. Okay, we continue with question 2A. So if you look at chapter 3 notes, okay, the precedence, okay, in slide number 28, you can see the precedence of operation. So try to memorize this. For me, I use bond, mass, crowd. Okay, so basically bracket, you have to solve the bracket first, power of, not, and then division, multiplication, okay, division, multiplication, and then additional and subtraction, and then colon, okay, colon, relation, okay, relation, more than, less than, something like that. Colon is just a range, okay, and then and or. So make sure you know which one to do first. Okay, if at the same label, for example, something like this, at the same label, you have to do left to right. Okay, and relational is this one. Okay, so and or is the last, but not is first. Okay, so not and relation is different. So this is not equal to, this is relation under 7, but not is, okay, this one logical not is under 3. So be careful. Okay, so you can see here, let me zoom in. Okay, and make sure you show the step. Okay, if you don't show the step, you lose mark. Okay, the first thing you have to do, okay, you see here, k is equals to 7 more than 3 power of 3 minus not 1, okay, equals to 1. So of course, remember the essay. So BON, okay, DMAS CRAO, crow. Okay, so you can see here you have bracket, so you have to solve bracket first. So inside the bracket they are not 1. Okay, this is normal operation and then not 1. So basically you can see here not 1 is basically 0. Okay, not anything is 0. Okay, not 7 is 0, but not 0 is 1. Okay, so not 0 is 1, and then this one become 0. So 3 minus 0 is 3. Okay, so you already solved the bracket. 3 minus 0, okay, is 3. So k is equals to 7 more than 3 power of power of 3, and then not equals to 1. So you have to solve this first. Okay, of course you have arithmetic, you have to solve it first, and then k equals to 7 more than 3 okay, not equals to 1. Sorry, this one should be 3 is 27. Okay, so now you have this one is operation. Okay, not operation, sorry, relation. Okay, relationship. Okay, bigger or smaller, and this one not equals to also relation. So you have to r. Okay, this one. So you have to solve left to right first. So k is equals to 7 bigger than 27. It is not true. Okay, so not equals to 1. So if you look here, 0 is not equal to 1. So basically it is k is true. Okay, that is how you do the precedence. Okay. Okay, for the question 2b1. Okay, I think this one is already available inside. Okay, inside your float, inside your inside your note. So basically you have a consumption of electricity. Okay, you have to insert the consumption of electricity, and then you have to calculate depending on the use. Okay, either it is less than 200 kilowatt hour, 300 kilowatt hour, and more than that, and then you have to plus it all. Okay, so the question is, show how you can use for loop to calculate the payment of energy. Okay, so basically you have to create this coding, and then you have to use for loop to insert the value. Okay, so how to do this? Okay, so we start with the for. Okay, for E is equals to, okay, you have 1 to 1, okay, and 5 to 0, and 3 1 0. Okay, when it comes to indexing, okay, the index means that you have variable number, multiple number, you use for, and if you have logic, you use if. Okay, be careful. Many of you use it interchangeably. Okay, make sure you know for is for, okay, function for is for index, okay, various number, and if is for logic. Okay, be careful with that. Okay, so of course you have to have and the first thing is, if E is less than 200, okay, we assume that this is in kilo. Okay, so no need to put E3, so no need. If you want to put, it's okay, but you have to put all E3. Okay, and for if E is less than 200, P1 equals to E multiplied by 0.218. Okay, and then P2 is equals to 0, P3 is also equals to 0. Okay, not n, sorry. Else if. Okay, so not, okay, be careful, not if else, but else if. Okay, and it is combined together. Okay, else if E is less than 300. Okay, so you have P1 is equals to 200 multiplied by 0.218, and P2 is equals to, okay, so E minus 200 multiplied by 0.334. Okay, and P3 is equals to 0. Okay, so if no, go here. Okay, so of course, next, else. Okay, else means this one. Okay, but the problem is you have calculated P1. Okay, here. So in the coding, when you transfer to coding, you also have to mention it, because in coding, if they run, they only run inside here. Okay, if they run, they only run inside here. But this here, it already run P1. Okay, so be careful, because in MATLAB it only run inside the condition. So of course P1 you have to copy back, and P2 is, you have to see here, this one is, okay, P2 is, where is it, 100 multiply by 0.334. okay, and P3, okay, here, okay, this one is basically connection. Okay, if A goes to A, B goes to B, this is how you do a very long flowchart. You make a circle and you connect it to other places. Okay, and P3 is equals to E minus 300. Okay, so E minus 300 multiplied by 0.516. So of course, don't forget for if. Okay, so basically you will get the answer. Okay, so okay, so that's it. Or you want to display also can. So display, oh, don't forget, you have to add everything. So payment P total is P1 plus P2 plus P3. Okay, and then you can display PT. Okay, this one is just an option. So if you run this, you get the answer. Okay, so that's it for 2B1. Okay, so we move on to 2B2. Okay, convert the program in one by removing for loop to use vectorization to calculate the payment of energy. So remember vectorization, so you look at chapter 4 in slide number 18. Okay, you can see this is the vectorization. Okay, so many of you forget what is vectorization. So basically you have the logic here and you just multiply it. Okay, you have the equation and you multiply it with the logic. That's it. Okay, so how to do this? Okay, if I open back here, okay, you have P1 is So you have this one. Okay, you can see here E is equals to, so E is equals to, maybe I just copy this because it's the same. So E equals to this one, and then the logic one, P1, so equals to, okay, for this logic, okay, so you just take this value, okay, and don't forget, because you have this one, make sure you put dot. This is an array, not metric operation. Okay, so you have this one, okay, and the second one, P2, is actually not a P2, it's more towards the, okay, it's just, you can do that, something like this. Of course, you copy back the logic, okay, and then dot multiply the logic, and you have to put the condition, this one, okay, this one plus this one. Okay, you have to plus everything, but for P2 and P3 is 0, so no need to plus. Okay, this is just cancel. Okay, and for these two, only two equation, this one, okay, and because this is n, okay, this one no need to worry. Okay, for this one also no need to worry because it is a vector, but this one you have to put dot. Okay, because this is will become a vector, okay, become a vector, then you have to multiply everything with this, okay, and then so P3, so for P3 you have to consider all, of course. You have to make sure the logic here, okay, for this case the logic is this, right? So you have to adjust, because if you look the logic here, E2 is this one, okay, less than 200, but for 300 you have two logic, okay, because you already cancel out the two, so because of that you have to put E more than 200, okay, and more than or equals to 200, and okay, and this one, so join only one, okay, be careful, only one n, okay, 2n if it is a 4, okay, and not for the if else, if you use if else you use 2n, but in this case you only use 1n, okay, and don't forget to close this up. And the last logic is, of course, you already delete this and delete this, so the next logic is basically E more than or equals to 300, okay, and then of course you have to multiply with the equation, so P1 plus P2 plus P3, okay, so of course don't forget this is, okay, array operation, so no need to worry about this, only the multiplication, okay, and of course remember when you do vectorization, okay, you have to add everything, so Pt is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3, okay, and I run this. So, okay, you get the answer. So that's it for question 2. We move on to question 3. Okay, if you look back, okay, chapter 5, okay, note and slide number 22. Okay, you have to make sure that you know how to differentiate between, okay, this is main function, which is at the top. The first function is the main function, and this one is a local function, the rest of the function. So you can see here, this is all the main function. This is a local function. Basically, it is outside the main function. Okay, and there is also, it's called a nested function. It's basically inside the main function or local function. Okay, so basically, if you have, okay, this one is function, function, main function, local function, local function, local function. Okay, and if you have another function inside the function, function inside function, that one is a nested function. And when it comes to nested function, okay, so when it comes to nested function, the variable don't need to be transferred because you share the same workspace, or this one, okay, workspace, the place where you save the data. So nested function, no need to worry, but local function, you have to transfer the data. That's why it has input and output. Okay, so that is the recall. So you can see here for question 3, A1, okay, the P&O function, main function, contains local and nested function. Identify which and which. So if you look here, okay, so this is, okay, if you look here until this one, okay, more, okay, this one, okay, if you look here, all of this is main function. Okay, but you can see here there are function inside function. Okay, so this function is basically a nested function because it is function inside function. Okay, so another thing is, so you can see here, this is outside the main function. Okay, outside the function. So this one is basically local function. And okay, this one is also important. Many of you don't know how to present function. Okay, so what it means by function or name of the function, you can see here in the question. Okay, wait. Okay, so P&O function. Okay, identify which function. So means that, okay, you can see here. Where is it? Okay, let me highlight it. Okay, so P&O function. So this is the name of the function. So P&O function. Okay, this is the input, this is the output, this is the input. Okay, so if you look here, the nested function is named this one. Okay, and for the local function, you can see here, this is the name. Okay, you just write this. Okay, this is the name of the function. Okay, make sure you know what is the name of the function. So next we move on. Okay, that is the first question. Identify which function is nested and local. So basically, this one is nested and this two is local. Okay, make sure you know how to identify it. So next, the second question, identify one of the error. Explain why it is error. So like I said before, okay, if you check back the note here, okay, this one, variable scope. Okay, So main function and nested function share the same workspace, okay, share the same variable. But and local function, if you have nested function, also share the same variable. But between main function and local function is doesn't share, okay. So be careful, So if you have a main function and you have nested function, you can just directly write the function without transferring the variable, okay. But if you want to connect main function with a local function, you have to connect it, okay. So if you look here, let me delete this. Okay, if you look here at the local function vstep, okay, you can see here vstep is not transfer here, okay. There is no vstep, okay. The vstep is not transfer to the local function, okay. It is in the main function here, okay. If the function is shared in the local function is okay, no problem. But the problem is now it is between main function and this is the main function, this is local function, so you cannot transfer it, okay. Okay, the solution is either, okay, this one. So you change the function from function vrn equals to vr out, vrn equals to vi, okay, vr out and vstep, okay. You have to change here the code, and as well as, okay, here, where is it, okay, this one, okay. So you have to change both, okay. You need to include the vstep, okay, for this case and this case. So both of it needs to have vstep. That is the first solution, okay, the first solution. The second solution, which is much more easy, you just okay, you just transfer this variable in the main function into the local function, okay. You just put here, and also you put before this, okay. That's it. So the solution is just these two. Either you can transfer it, okay, or you can create a input, okay. So that is how you answer question number 2, 3A2. So basically the error is vstep, okay. You already identified the error and explain the reason why the error occurred, because you don't share, okay. So you don't share. You don't share the variable, okay, library, not library, the workspace, okay. Okay, we continue with the last question, okay. 3A3, okay. So you analyze according to this input, okay. This is all input and this is the output. So you can see here, okay, this is the input, this is the output, okay. So you can see here, if P1 is more than P0, so you look at P1 is more than P0, it is true. So you call the nested function, which is this one. So then it analyzes V1 is V2, is more than V2. So V1 is more than V2, V0, this one. So it is true. So dV is equals to 1. Okay. And dVp is equals to dV. Okay. And else, okay. So you already got this. and then you go to the next part, okay, and dvp is more than 0, okay, so this one is 1, okay, dv is 1, dvp also 1, dv is 1, dvp pv, okay, dv is equals to 1, dpv is equals to 1, okay. So if dvp is equal more than 0, okay, this one, it's called increase, vi, okay. So vi, okay, this is vi, so v is vro, okay. What is vro? So vro is basically vro ref, this one, so 8 plus, okay, 2, okay, so equals to 10, okay. The answer vrn, okay. So vrn will become vref 1, okay. Be careful, so if you see here the name not same, is still correct, okay. Why? Because if you look back, passing agreement, okay, okay, recall back chapter 5, passing agreement. So you can see here, okay, it's called my mean, okay, my mean here, okay. This one use average, this one use a, this one use x, this one use v. So it's if you call function, it doesn't care whether you can use the same name or not, okay. So it's something like this. So the answer is 10, okay. So the same thing, okay, for the second question, okay, you can see here, okay. So first one is p is more than p1 is more than p0. So for this case, p1 is also more than p0. So go here, okay, and then this one, nested function, we change, okay, v1 is more than v0, no, so goes here. So basically for this case, dv is equals to -1, okay, dv pv is equals to -1, okay. You check here, okay, you get -1 and -1. So next, move on to this part, okay. If dpv is more than 0, okay, so it goes here because it is not more than 0, because it is -1. So it's called the vd function, this one. So vrn equals to vrout minus vstep. So remember, vrout is here, vref 0, so this one. So 9 minus 2, okay, vstep is 2, okay. Remember, you have to use the corrected one, okay, and then you get 7. So this one is 10, this one is 7. Okay, that's it. That is how you answer for test 1. Okay, so have a good day and Selamat Hari Raya.